Breaking news, the Atlanta Falcons just received another dosage of amazing news. Now, if you haven't been watching, it has just been released and just been kind of tweeted and quoted by Adam Schefter that the Tennessee Titans are releasing Harold Landry, outside linebacker. This is huge news. Now, if you go back 3 steps, there's been one thing that the Atlanta Falcons have needed over the last, I would say, 20 years, and that's consistent pass rush. And right now, they are in a time where there are 3 to 4 elite pass rushers available for this team to acquire. Now, it's just a matter of, can this team acquire them, and will it happen? But the big news for today is Harold Landry has been officially waived, and therefore he is entering the free agent market. And teams are able to figure out a way to sign Harold Landry and get him on their roster. Now, there's a lot of ins and outs for the Atlanta Falcons. We've heard about the Trey Hendrickson deal, which is another big deal of news that I'll talk about a little further, but we're going to talk about Harold Landry. The Atlanta Falcons can get this done, and a lot of people say they prefer Harold Landry because he's not going to require a trade. All we have to do is kind of pony up the money to figure out how to sign this individual. He won't require a trade. Now, Harold Landry has been a baller over the last 2 seasons. I think last year he had 9.5 sacks, 9 or 9.5 sacks of the year before. He had 10 or 10.5 sacks. I'll put it on the screen right now. But he's been a double-digit about sack guy for the last 2 years. He's 29 years old, and he can fit right into the scheme of the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, he's an outside linebacker, but like we mentioned, the Atlanta Falcons will be somewhat, or they claim to be going fluid between a 3-4 and a 4-3, and I think Harold Landry could fit pretty much anywhere in the defense. Harold Landry is a big deal for the Atlanta Falcons fans, and for them not to have to give up a draft pick, which a lot of people say they need, and a lot of people say that they will have to utilize to help fill this roster out, that is a great addition as well. Now, there will be some need to reshuffle some contracts. You got to think there's a lot of movement that needs to happen in the Atlanta Falcons organization. Do they re-sign Grady Jarrett? Do they cut Grady Jarrett? Do they cut David Onyemata? Do they cut not Rashawn Gary. I'm blanking on the right tackle's name right now, but there's a lot of movement that could happen. But at the end of the day, if the Atlanta Falcons can sign Harold Landry, that will be phenomenal. Now, I talked about yesterday the Trey Hendrickson deal and how he could help elevate this team as well. He's a guy that had 17.5 sacks last year. He led the NFL with 17.5 sacks. But the good news is there are guys available that will immediately fix the need, the biggest need of the Atlanta Falcons. All we have to do is figure out a way to get one. We don't even have to get all 2. We don't have to get all 3. Just figure out a way to get one of these guys. There are multiple individuals available from a pass rushing perspective, and the Atlanta Falcons could take their choice in getting a guy that will help this team in the future. Like I said, Harold Landry is available, Trey Hendrickson available, Micah Parsons may or may not, but Myles Garrett has been, quote-unquote, said he's available too. And the Atlanta Falcons could take a step in the right direction if they make the proper moves. They sign, they restructure, they release, and make the proper moves to get one of these 3 to 4 guys on their roster right now. But this is huge news. The Trey Hendrickson deal was huge news yesterday, and today the Harold Landry deal is huge news, especially for a team in the market for a pass rush. Now we're hearing Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris say, hey, we're going to focus on defense. We know we need pass rush on our roster. They've given you a gift. You have to secure one of these guys. You have to. There is no other that you can't not get one of these guys. And I don't want to hear this excuse, oh, we're going to build through the draft. You have 1 year to prove yourself, Terry Fontenot. 1 year. You're really going to risk that on getting a guy in the draft. And I know there's a lot of great talent. There are 4 potential, they're not all 4 Hall of Famers, but 4 all-pro players available. Get one. And then go from there. But if you agree or disagree, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about one of these 4 guys. Leave a comment down who your favorite pass rusher that's quote-unquote available and who you like to see the Atlanta Falcons get. Harold Landry is a guy that at 10 sacks could add instant defense in the Atlanta Falcons roster. Plus, you retain your draft pick. And if you want to double down on pass rusher, which we all think they should, or if you want to get Malachi Starks or whoever, you have the ability. Trey Hendrickson may not allow you to get that top end guy with that first round pick or that second round pick, but you got a 17.5 sack guy. Regardless, you cannot go wrong with one of these 2 players, and you have to figure out a way to get one of those 2 players are listed or one of the 4 players available. Please, Atlanta Falcons, make it happen. But if you agree or disagree, leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.